Every summer, MasterCraft X26 owners destroy their hulls, not through collisions, not through mechanical failure, not through any single catastrophic event that could be pointed to after the fact as an obvious error. The damage accumulates through a repeated operational mistake that the X26's most compelling performance feature makes almost inevitable, that the dealership rarely explains fully at delivery, and that the service records of marine repair facilities document with a consistency that should be treated as a product-specific warning. The feature is ballast. The mistake is what owners do with it when they do not fully understand what 4,150 pounds of water does to a hull that was engineered to carry it on the water and not on a trailer. Let's get into it. The MasterCraft X26 is the flagship of the MasterCraft fleet, designed as a luxury wake surfing boat. Length is 26 feet 5 inches. LOA, including the swim platform, is 28 feet 6 inches. Beam is 102 inches. Dry weight is 6,900 pounds. Factory ballast capacity is 4,150 pounds. Passenger capacity is 18. Power comes from a 6.2-liter Ilmor engine with a 7.4-liter upgrade available. Marinized exclusively for MasterCraft by Ilmor, built in the same factory responsible for more than 280 IndyCar wins. Fuel capacity is 108 gallons. Those are the documented specifications of the boat MasterCraft builds and sells. They describe a hull carrying 6,900 pounds dry, with a ballast system capable of adding 4,150 pounds of water to that baseline. Combined wet weight at full ballast with a light crew approaches 13,000 pounds. That is not an unusual operating condition for this vessel. It is the designed operating condition. The wake the X26 produces at full ballast, shaped by the GEN2 Surf System's electrically actuated Lenco tabs and a central U-shaped tank that lets water shift to the appropriate side, is the product this boat is sold to deliver. The ballast system is not an accessory. It is the core performance feature. MasterCraft's fast fill ballast system feeds 3 hard tanks below decks with total ballast of 4,150 pounds. The system can fill completely in under 4 minutes. 4 minutes to add 4,150 pounds of water to a hull. The speed of that process is the first place where the operational error begins to take shape, because the ease of filling the system creates no natural pause in which an owner is forced to account for what that water weighs when the boat is no longer on the water. Now, here is the mechanism behind the damage, and it is documented in MasterCraft's own published materials with language that should stop every X26 owner cold. MasterCraft's ballast system documentation states explicitly, "Never tow a trailer with water in the boat's ballast tanks. Even small amounts of water can cause serious problems with the required balance of the boat on the trailer. Read that carefully, not large amounts of water. Even small amounts of water can cause serious problems." The X26 at full ballast carries 4,150 pounds of water distributed across hard tanks positioned between the deck and the hull. When that boat is lifted onto a trailer, every pound of that water becomes a static load applied to the hull structure at the contact points between hull and trailer bunks. The hull was engineered to distribute that load through water. Water supports a hull uniformly across its wetted surface. A trailer does not. A trailer supports a hull at specific contact points, the bunks, and the load between those points is unsupported. When 4,150 pounds of water sits in tanks between the deck and the hull of a boat sitting on trailer bunks, the structural loading profile is entirely different from the profile the hull was designed for. The fiberglass and the internal stringers are carrying a ballast load they were never engineered to support in that configuration. The damage that results is not always immediate, and it is not always visible. It accumulates. Stringers develop stress fractures. Hull panels flex at contact points in ways they were not designed to flex. Gel coat cracks appear at stress concentration zones. Owners who have trailered with ballast water aboard repeatedly find the evidence at survey time, and by then the repair bill frequently exceeds the cost of the annual maintenance the boat would have required if the tanks had been emptied before every trailer returned. MasterCraft's own forum records show cracked rotocast ballast tanks on X series boats, where owners discovered that the tanks cannot be removed for proper repair without splitting the hull. A repair consequence that turns what should be a contained maintenance event into a major structural intervention. The second documented failure mode operates at the pump level and is equally preventable. MasterCraft's ballast documentation states that the engine must be operated at 1,500 revolutions per minute during the fill and empty processes, and that failure to increase engine RPM to the required level may result in malfunction or permanent damage to the ballast pumps. Such damage is not covered under warranty. The reason is voltage. The ballast pumps draw significant electrical current. If voltage drops because the alternator is spinning too slowly at idle, the current to the pumps increases, which damages them. The pumps require the alternator to be spinning fast enough at 1,500 revolutions per minute to produce adequate power. Every owner who fills or empties ballast at idle RPM, which is the instinctive behavior when you are sitting still at the dock, is running the pumps below the voltage threshold that protects them. The damage does not always manifest immediately. Impeller wear accelerates, pump efficiency degrades. MasterCraft's documentation requires that the ballast pump impeller be replaced at least annually, and more often may be necessary. Owners who do not follow that interval and whose pumps have been operated repeatedly below the 1,500 revolutions per minute voltage threshold frequently discover inoperative pumps at the start of the season. The pump replacement cost is not covered under warranty because the owner's manual explicitly describes the operating requirement that was not followed. The honest picture of the MasterCraft X26 ballast system is this. It is a genuinely impressive engineering achievement. The GEN2 Surf System's port and starboard wake-shaping tabs extend up to 26 inches and, combined with speed and ballast settings, can create over 1,656 different wake configurations. The performance that system delivers is real, and it is exactly what the X26's market position promises. The failure is not in the engineering. It is in the gap between what the system delivers on the water and what it demands off it. 4,150 pounds of ballast fills in 4 minutes. It does not empty itself. It does not remind the operator at the ramp that the hull is about to be loaded onto a trailer in a configuration the manufacturer explicitly prohibits. It does not alert the operator at idle that the pump impellers are accumulating damage below the voltage threshold. Every one of those failure modes is documented. Every one of them is avoidable. And every summer, a consistent population of X26 owners discovers them the same way. At a marine service facility, looking at a repair estimate that reflects the cost of not reading the owner's manual before the season started. The boat MasterCraft builds does not destroy itself. The operational decisions around the ballast system do. Empty the tanks before the boat touches the trailer. Run the engine at 1,500 revolutions per minute during fill and empty cycles. Replace the impellers annually. Those 3 requirements are the entire distance between an X26 that performs for a decade and one that arrives at the service dock with stress fractures in the stringers and a pump system that stopped working sometime in July. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. More deep boating stories are coming.